or call us on 01733 310 115 or visit us at 11 Royce Road, Fengate, Peterborough.
You're listening to Peterborough's community radio, Salam Radio. Salam Radio. 106.2 FM.
Assalamu alaikum. This is your very own Dr. Shabina Asad Qayyum for Salam Radio 106.2 FM. It's wonderful to be back again on a Monday. I used to broadcast on a Wednesday. And in some ways, I used to always think, okay, it's the middle of the week, and on Mondays, people will be tired. Who's going to listen to me? But actually, alhamdulillah, you have all been so wonderful in listening to the show and giving your support, and it's a pleasure to be back. And yes, what we do is we bring the latest in terms of information in the world of health to you as much as we can. So I tried to bring contemporary topics with contemporary guests who I will be introducing, inshallah. But in the meantime, I hope that you're all keeping nice and warm, because the weather is starting to become a little bit more cold, and we're seeing a lot more of these viral-like illnesses. Children have started to go back to school. They're now developing temperatures and presenting to their GPs, which is exactly what my background is. So in the way of an introduction, like I always tell you every week, I'm Dr. Shabina Asad Qayyum. I am a GP who works in a practice in the heart of Peterborough. I love our diverse city, and I love that I can work with professionals. Well, in fact, professionals are so generous that they work with me. Every single day and week, we have interactions in the way of health, but we try to bring it to this show. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you exactly what we need to do. And if you hear any medical advice today, it is always still a good idea to check with your own health professional if you are unsure about anything. But equally, for consistency of care, it is important that you understand that we give general advice. We won't give any individualized advice. So please go back to your own GP for further advice. So do join in the conversation. We've got two different topics on the show. One is on CPR, and the second half of the show will be around the new legislation on death verification, which we will be having a chat with. I am going to specially introduce my guest, but in the meantime, if you want to chat with us about anything at all, really, call us on 01733 602 133, or you can text us on 074 1119 1062. And you can comment on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, X, or Twitch. Now, I'm going to introduce you to somebody who's very special, in fact, very esteemed. I don't think there's any doctor in Peterborough who has as many awards as he does. I recently met him I was invited actually to the wonderful Thistlemore Medical Centre, to their annual barbecue event. I was looked after very well by the wonderful colleagues there and the staff there. But it's an absolute pleasure to have my wonderful guest, who hasn't just presented for the first time with me. He's been a guest, been very generous in coming numerous times on our show. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Dr. Azhar Chaudhry, who is a GP at Thistlemore Medical Centre, which is the biggest practice within Peterborough, also the most diverse practice within Peterborough. And he wears many hats, and I'm going to leave him to introduce what his many hats are. So, assalamu alaikum, Azhar Bhai.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for having me.
It's wonderful to have you. I just think, accommodating your accolades as well is that this show's not enough to accommodate your accolades. Let's be sure you, mashallah, your service to the community has been wonderful. You have given so much to this community, come to Peterborough all those years ago, embedded yourself here within the community, and professionals like you actually are a real testament to how you consider all communities to be your own, not just the Muslim community, but all communities. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself? Give us a bit of a background, please.
Okay, I was trained in Scotland, as you know, and then moved in Peterborough in 2010.
Okay.
And joined Thistlemore Medical Centre as a salaried GP, and then move up the ladder, become a trainer.
Okay.
After 3-4 years, and then become a partner in 2016. And I think I joined yourself in 2017 in the community work, British Islamic Medical Association, and since then I think we've been doing on a regular basis annual programs on behalf of British Islamic Medical Association in Peterborough. In the practice, I am partner, I am trainer, I am clinical lead for the teaching and training, and in the community. A few years ago, we made a Mosque Health Champion Network, which basically one doctor represent each mosque. So we got 6 mosques in Peterborough.
Yeah.
And I chair that group. And through that group, we arrange different events, mostly health awareness event community. They are in our own time. And I'm thankful to all the team. It's maybe on the social media or in the media, I am the kind of only person, but in the back there are lots of people helping me out, yourself, there are other good doctors as well. So we are like 35, 36 local health professionals in our group, and we try to kind of help the community out.
Well, it's wonderful because, yes, it's okay for you to say that I just sort of, introduced you to it, but you've taken it to heights that have been wonderful, Azharpai. Really, they have been. You've taken the initiative. It's you that actually bring all of us together. You drive forward all of these programs in terms of now the recent CPR course, which we will obviously be having a bit of a conversation about, but also everything, awareness in the community, cancer screening programs, everything that we do. And on that note, would you like to share with the listeners a little bit about the British Islamic Medical Association and the work that they do?
Yeah, so British Islamic Medical Association, we call BIMA, is a national organization. And it's all voluntary. It's nobody paying for membership or anything. So all the health professionals in the UK, whether they're doctor, whether they're pharmacists, whether are physiotherapists, or all the health professionals, they join together, and they work together to help the community out, to inspire other, and through BIMA, basically they. The good thing about BIMA, they produce very evidence-based material that help us to deliver. So they work with the other national organizations like Diabetes UK, Cancer Research UK, Heart Foundation, all these big organizations. So through that, we produce the material, and then I think regularly we do 3-4 events, and on top of that, it depends on the circumstances. Like during COVID, we did lots of work on COVID. BIMA did lots of work on COVID, and we deliver in Peterborough as well. But average every year we deliver definitely three courses. One of them is CPR in September, and then we do cancer screening program, and that will cover 3 cancers: breast screening, cervical screening, and bowel cancer screening. And then we do healthy Ramadan. So that's before fasting month we do every year. So these are 3 regular, every year we do. And on top of that, sometimes do organ donation, sometimes we do like a mental health. And obviously, that's the general British Islamic Medical Association. But locally, we've been arranging program as well according to our community need through Galatka and with the help of Parka and Salam Radio.
Yes, and again, another example of where community organisations like Galatka, like Parka, who have really taken an interest in wanting to educate our community, especially.
Absolutely.
And I've seen the way you have delivered talks to the elderly Muslim uncles in the community. That was really fun, wasn't it? It was really good. It was lovely.
I think it's very rewarding as well at the same time. I'll give you an example. We've been doing cancer screening talks from last 4 or 5 years. And my practice only, we got quite a big Muslim population as well. So in 2018, the bowel cancer screening uptake was only 38% as compared to the British people, native British, there was 68%. But after our talk and through the practice passages, last year I did the order, it went up to 68%. And that's, you save lots of cancer there.
Yes.
So I think that's very rewarding as well,
Very rewarding. And making people aware of the importance of screening, that it works as preventative, and also the fact that the importance of it. You always talk about, I've seen you always talk about the NHS and how valuable it is to us, and that everything's free of charge.
Free of charge, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's
we just need to make a bit of efforts. And I think partly maybe people are not aware of that. Is too many things available. But as a health professional, I think if you keep doing it, that will create awareness at the end of the day. So I think our culture is we have to keep doing it, keep doing
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's actually from a religious reference as well in our faith. If you need to pursue knowledge, that you go as far as China
Yes,
to
absolutely.
search for that knowledge. So it's incredibly important. And obviously, belonging to a profession such as being a medic, where you have so much knowledge, and actually GPs themselves, as you know, we have to know a little bit about everything, don't we?
I think we are a very privileged status in a way that we got access to the community, and I think if we put a bit of effort, and rewarding is almost double, to be honest, and it's not rewarding like people gonna appreciate us. It's hereafter, and also making population healthy population, and all those things, all these serious conditions, cardiovascular risk, if you prevent heart attacks, if you prevent cancer, all these things they are, and diabetes, if you prevent diabetes, you can do and people suppose if they delay their diabetes 10 years, and they can give that much time to their family and their society.
Yes, and that's true. And just before we go on to the topic at hand, tell us a little bit about the awards that you have earned. The reason why I want to ask this question, I think it's important. I think it's so important that the hard work that you put in, the many facets that you are looking after in your profession, I feel that our listeners need to know all the hard work that's gone into those awards. It's not the actual award, it's the work that has gone into the very different aspects of your work and elements of your work and the responsibilities that you are undertaking. So I think it's important that our listeners know about what those awards are and what they entail, what you were awarded for. And then I'm going to keep a mental note so that when you, I think you have this many. So when they sort of, reach the ceiling capacity, then we can call you in on another show, which I don't see very far from happening, actually. I think it's going to happen pretty soon. But tell us a little bit about the awards.
Yeah, when I started in 2017, I never thought about rewards or anything. It wasn't in my mind at all.
Yeah.
And it all started because about the teaching. So I am a trainer and I love teaching. And because of that, so my trainer nominated me, my trainees nominated me. And I become like a trainer of the year twice in 3 years from Peterborough schemes. So there are like 60 trainers and out of them. And then from there, yourself and Ansar Ali nominated me for the Civic Award because of work I've been doing in the community. And I didn't know that, to be honest. I wasn't aware of these awards. So I got Civic Award. And then one of my partners, they said, why not you apply for the East Anglia RCGP Award as a GP? So last year, I got that one from the East Anglia. And then there was a national award, Inspire RCGP Award. That's Educator of the Year. So that's I won early this year in June. So that amazing. Kind of national award, it was people shortlisted from Scotland, from Wales, from Ireland. So it was all UK. So that was a big thing. And now I've been shortlisted in 2 awards. And they are, again, national awards. And I think they are bigger than the previous one because the previous one was just a primary care. And these were the primary and secondary care. So there are consultants with me, they have been shortlisted as well.
Wow.
So that is, one is about my community work, and the other one is Educator of the Year again. So that's, the final is on 26th of September in London.
Wow.
So there are 2 awards. And now I've been shortlisted for another one. That's a Pulse National Award.
Okay, yes, Pulse, which is the magazine that's for GPs and medics.
So that's the GP of the Year award nationally, and that's going to be in December.
Wow.
The final. So there are 3, I am waiting for them, but other 4 or 5, I got them.
Wow, mashallah.
So.
That's wonderful. I'm so overjoyed. Now, I've just been counting on my fingers while you've been telling me. So 7, 8 I have just here, if you get all those awards, inshallah, you will. And you are officially Peterborough's award-winning GP. So anywhere you go, from now on when I introduce you, it will be Dr. Azhar Chaudhry, award-winning GP of Peterborough. How does that sound? I think it has a very nice ring to it. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And may Allah give you more, because You know, one of the things is that life is so unpredictable. We've seen the unpredictability of life after the pandemic, and how you have worked as a GP throughout the pandemic in your individual capacity, from a community capacity as well. And in that unpredictability, I often see, especially with the advent of social media, there are too many people who will point fingers and criticize. We don't have enough people to celebrate each other.
Yeah.
And your success is our success. Your success is my success. And actually, for those of you in the community who are listening, Dr. Azhar Chaudhry, who is actually our award-winning GP of Peterborough, if we make dua for him to give him more success, then that only reaps benefit and is a matter of pride for us in our city. So I really do.
Thank you so
I am.
much.
And I'm back. I'm going to be watching those awards now. You've told me 26th of September, everybody, and in December. So
The 6th of December, yeah.
6th of December. Thank you. You've remembered the dates as well.
That's actually, they came out last week, so that's what
see.
I remember.
That's wonderful.
yeah.
And hopefully, inshallah, we'll all be making dua. The whole of Peterborough
you.
will be making dua. Now, coming to our segment on CPR. So, British Islamic Medical Association runs the Lifesaver course every year. And you run it for Peterborough every year, mostly from all the mosques, the main mosques in Peterborough
mosques, yeah.
as well. And you advertise it very well. I advertised it yesterday. Tell us about the need for this course and what British Islamic Medical Association's objectives are in delivering this course nationally, all on the same day.
Yes. So Lifesaver courses included three things. One is a CPR. That's, somebody get heart attack, so cardiac arrest. Then they do CPR, they do the resuscitations. The second bit is recovery position. The third one is choking management. These are all three lifesavers, basically, procedures. Why is so important? Because we know that 8 out of 10 cardiac arrests happen in the community. People say, no, it's going to happen, NHS going to be there, ambulance going to be there, doctor going to be there. No, they wouldn't be, because it doesn't happen in the hospital setting. If it happened in the hospital setting, they got the whole team, they come around straight away and they put a defibrillator and they just resuscitate it. But in the community, as I said, 8 out of 10. So it can happen in your dining room, your sitting room, anywhere you're walking on the street, you just collapse. And only public can help it there. And evidence show that ambulance average take 8 minutes to reach cardiac arrest. And 1 minute on top of that, but taking the gears out, reaching, it depends where the person is, whether in the top floor or where it is, 1 minute more gone. So average, only 1 out of 10 people survive if they have a cardiac arrest outside the hospital.
Sure.
And the CPR is a very simple, very basic procedure to buy the time. By the time ambulance reach, then they can put a defibrillator on, they can resuscitate it. Basically, it look very small thing, but when you do practically, and people do save life this way. And it's a very simple procedure, half an hour of your time once in a year, and just learn these valuable, and you can save your family member. Never mind going out in the community. Like, imagine you are at home, somebody collapse, what are you going to do?
That's so true.
And you buy a time while ambulance is coming. They will come. But by the time they reach, it might be too late. They can't do much. So you need to kind of give the heart a bit of help.
Yes.
By pressing it. Simple as that.
Yes.
And by the time ambulance is still, heart is some kind of strength there, then they can defibrillate it. Then they can take on from there. So that's why it's so important. And I don't know whether I told you this story. When we did it first time in 2018, I think, a year after that, one of the lady came to me and she was in tears. And said, what happened? He said, after a week, the year before she did the course, the week after that, our sister was collapsed. She had a fit, epileptic fit, and she collapsed. And because she did the course with us, and we taught her how to do the recovery position, and she put her in the recovery position, and the paramedics came and they said, oh, you saved your sister's life. And she was in tears after a year telling me that story. So you can see that it's all, and similar choking. For choking, ambulance can't reach even.
Yeah.
By the time ambulance is going to reach, it's going to be too late. The person is going to be collapsed. And very simple procedure you can do. Everybody can do it. You don't have to have a scientific knowledge. You don't have to have any knowledge, to be honest. It's just observing it and just doing it.
That's, you know, and some of the main things that you have said are real lived experiences.
Yeah.
How often does it happen? And one example to give, the importance of saying to our communities that CPR is incredibly important. When us as doctors, every year we have to refresh, you know, our BLS certificate, which is basic life support, because we have an appraisal every year. And part of that appraisal is to demonstrate that we know basic life support. And you know very well in a surgery where you are alerted to an emergency sometimes where somebody may have collapsed in the waiting room, your adrenaline always rushes.
Yeah.
And initially, everything kicks in and you think, right, I must only focus on the knowledge I've learned. You can never learn enough with CPR because it is an incredibly anxiety-provoking moment, which is why you need your wits about you. And learning on this course can help you address that because it's simple, it's straightforward, the steps are laid out, and you have all the skills that you need to address somebody that could collapse in front of you. So that's very important.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. It's very simple procedure. And as you said, that every year we need to do it again and again to basically refresh it. And maybe you don't kind of perform it for 2, 3 years or 4 years or maybe once a life. You know, you never know because these things doesn't happen every day, but they do happen. And when they happen, then if you don't have those skills, then very difficult. So you one of those one, then just basically making the videos and those kind of things, or you want one of those one, you want to save the life. So and it's a very good picture when we do presentation. The people are watching. There's a building collapse.
Yes.
And you want to be part of the just people who are watching it, or you want to be part of actually saving the life.
Saving people.
Now, obviously, we want to be the people who want to save the life. And as Quran says, if you save one life, you save the whole mankind. So, yeah.
That's true.
And then Islam is so natural and beautiful religion, and these all things are there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely, subhanallah. So talk to us before the break. We have another 3 minutes. Please inform our listeners of when the course is, what the timings are, and what the venues are.
So this year we're doing in two mosques. One is the Fazan-e-Medina Mosque, and that is 1:45 on 28th of September. That's Saturday, in 2 weeks' time, almost 2 weeks' time in Saturday. And it's going to be Fazan-e-Medina. There are going to be female doctors, there are going to be male doctors, there are going to be presentation, there are going to be screen in the middle, so partition, and then they're going to perform the procedure. There are going to be dummies as well. And the second one is at Asani Islamic Center, and that's going to be at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Again, there are male and female doctors there. So we've got lots of doctors this time, like 13 doctors.
Wonderful.
And yeah, not all doctors, but yeah, so health professionals, there are 13s.
Yeah.
So more ladies than male this time. So,
that's really good.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah.
So please do come along. It's on 28th of September. It's a Saturday. It's just after Zohar time. Only 1 hour it's going to take, only 1 hour. And you're going to learn lots of life-saving skills.
Yeah, I think it's important. And actually, I've trained last year on the course when I was delivering it alongside Dr. Fizan and other colleagues at the Burton Street. You were there as well, at the Burton Street Mosque. And I really enjoyed it. You can make it an enjoyable experience. When you enjoy things, then you remember them as well.
And we also discuss about cardiovascular risks.
Yes.
How to prevent heart attacks, heart diseases, strokes, circulation issues, lifestyle changes. So there's going to be a bit of about that as well, because they're all connected. So why it's so common in Asian population, heart diseases and blood pressure and all those things. So there's going to be a bit of that as well. So it's going to be very good, kind of very informative session.
Yeah, and I think that it's worth. So please, all of you, those of you who are within Peterborough, please do attend this course on the 28th of September on a Saturday in 2 mosques, Fazan-e-Medina and the Burton Street Mosque, the Husseini Islamic Center. Faizan Medina will be delivering the education 1:45.
Yeah, 1:45.
So 1:45 at Faizan Medina and at 3 o'clock at Burton Street Mosque. And it's really good that we have more ladies than men this time. But also, I do want to say that the Peterborough Private Hire Association, lots of taxi drivers have said that they would like to come and join.
Brilliant, yeah.
So
brilliant.
it's wonderful. Now we're coming up to a break. It's great that you have come here to talk about this. Again, after the break, we'll cover the timings again, do a little bit about, what is covered in CPR and what steps need to be undertaken. And then we will talk a little bit about death verification and death legislation as well, the new law that has come in that has been effective from the 9th of September. So it's been a good experience to talk about this. Please do join. Do they have to sign up just in the last 30 seconds? If you
No, they don't need to sign up.
they
need
just
to turn
have
up
to
there.
walk in as
Just
well.
need to walk in.
I've had queries whether people from other faith communities can attend as well. Everybody is welcome.
Yeah, they could come, yeah.
That's wonderful. So join us after the break where we'll be talking a little bit about CPR process and also about death verification and death legislation. Don't go away. Tune in soon.
This is Salam Radio, Peterborough's Muslim community radio. Broadcasting on 106.2 FM and online.
Bite into something wonderfully tasty at Big Mouth, 349 Lincoln Road in Peterborough. Eating in for takeaway or delivery. Big Mouth now have a delicious new menu full of all your favourites. Crispy fried chicken, juicy smashed burgers, finger-licking peri-peri chicken, handmade pizzas, quality doner meat and so much more. So visit the family-friendly Big Mouth restaurant for fantastically fresh food. Call 01733 201020 or visit getbigmouthonline.com.
हम जानते हैं कि इस महंगाई के दौर में आपको अपने घर को गर्म रखने की फिक्र है, हमें भी है। इसलिए पीटरबोरो सिटी काउंसिल आपकी मदद के लिए हर मुमकिन कोशिश कर रही है। हम इस सर्दी के मौसम में तवानाई बचाने और अपने घर को बेहतर तरीके से इंसुलेट करने में आपकी मदद और मशवरा फराहम कर सकते हैं। ये तवानाई के बिल्स को कम करने का एक बेहतरीन और देर पा तरीका है। हमारी वेबसाइट पर जाकर मजीद मालूमात हासिल करें। peterborough.gov.uk पर मजीद जानें।
Craving authentic Desi flavors? Look no further than Desi Restaurant. From midday until 1 in the morning, enjoy our homemade specialties that will transport your taste buds. Indulge in tantalizing papri chaat and savor the rich Chersi Kadahi. Treat your friends to our fresh 1 kilogram Chersi lamb handi. Plus, get 2 12-inch pizzas for $11.95. Located at 298 Lincoln Road, we deliver from lunchtime until 1 a.m. Call 01733 555 795 now to order and experience Desi Restaurant's flavors.
Need a taxi that won't break the bank? Amar Cabs offers safe local rides at affordable prices, starting at £3.99. Get to Heathrow for £120 and London Stansted or London Luton for just £88. Private school and executive business class drop-offs are also available. Booking is easy. Go to www.amarcabs.com and download our app on Android or iOS or call 01733 555 888 wherever you're headed. Amar Cabs is just a tap away with reliable, affordable rides starting at just £3.99.
Satisfy your cravings at Ibrahimi Buffet Restaurant. Enjoy a tantalizing variety of Chinese, Italian, Pakistani and comfort food favourites from starters to desserts. Kids under 5 dine for free, so bring the whole family to our location at 63 Sycamore Avenue. Open every day from 5 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. Call us on 01733 313131 or book online to reserve your table. Ibrahimi-restaurant.co.uk. Every bite is a delight at Ibrahimi Buffet Restaurant.
Do you own a restaurant or takeaway? Cater Fair is an expert supplier of new and used commercial catering equipment. Visit caterfair.co.uk for quality equipment on sale at the lowest prices, or call us on 01733 310 115 or visit us at 11 Royce Road, Fengate, Peterborough.
For the top pizza in Peterborough, visit Top's Pizza, established in 1988 for delicious pizzas with freshly made dough daily. View the extensive and mouth-watering menu online at topspizza.co.uk, then choose from traditional tasty toppings, something different, or create your own with fresh 100% halal meats, salads, veg, and a great choice of sides too. Call into Top's Pizza, 52 Broadway, PE1 1SB. Call 01733 913 775 or order online for delivery or collection.
You're listening to Peterborough's community radio, Salam Radio. Salam Radio. 106.2 FM.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the Body, Health and Mind Show, 106.2 FM on Salam Radio. I'm joined by the wonderful Dr. Azhar, who is our award-winning GP in Peterborough and is on his way to accumulating nearly 8, 9, 10 awards now, mashallah. It's pride of our city, I would like to say, and may Allah give him more. He has been educating us in the first part of the show on CPR and British Islamic Medical Association's Lifesaver course, which we're going to repeat again after the break. Azhar Bhai, please tell the listeners the venues and the times of the course.
So the course is on 28th of September, on Saturday after Zohr time. At Fazani Medina is 1:45, and at Asani Islamic Center is 3 o'clock. There are female doctors, there are male doctors, and it's for both male and female. And it's going to be Urdu and English. So
okay, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So I might as well ask you here. I've been assigned to deliver in English, haven't I?
Yes.
Urdu aati hai. But the thing is that, I...
So Dr. Shabina is delivering at Fazani Medina Mosque.
Yes.
So, and Fiza and other they're doing in Islamic Sani Center.
That's true.
Sani Islamic Center, yeah.
That's true. I'm just wondering what the Urdu is for chest compressions.
Chati ko dabana.
Chati ko dabana.
Aati se chati ko dabana, yeah.
Chati ko dabana. We'll see how that works out.
Most of the people understand this compression business now. You've seen it. So, as I said, it's more to absorbing it. So when you do it, they know that that involved. So they will just absorb you doing it.
So would you like to tell, for example, just lay out so that people are aware of what to do in a situation where you see a collapse? If you lay out the steps of CPR, first of all, before we go to that, would you like to make our listeners aware of what the format of the day is going to be?
So it's going to be only 1 hour session. So we start with the recitation of Quran, and then the program going to be first they're going to presentation, and in presentation a little bit about BIMA, British Islamic Medical Association, and then about cardiovascular diseases, bit of prevention, how to prevent heart disease, strokes, and all those things. And then there will be 3 procedures. One of them is CPR. So we're going to explain CPR, what it is, and how to do it, when to do it, and then choking. So how to recognize somebody is choking. So there are videos to show. There are 3 videos to be watched at that time. And then there is a recovery position. Again, first we're going to let them watch the video and then explain what it is. And then we perform that. So each doctor then divided into different groups. So all the audience going to be divided into 3 groups, because there are 3 procedures, and then we show them each of them by performing it, how to perform it in actual scenarios. CPR is basically how to approach it. So first important thing is, if you see somebody's collapse, the first important thing is detect the danger. Don't put yourself in danger, because if you get into danger, then it's difficult to resuscitate somebody else. So first need to make sure that the area is safe, and then you approach and shout and just say that, can you hear me? Whatever language or words you use, as long as it makes sense. So if they don't hear it, then obviously you call for help, and you start CPR. So basically it's you check the airways, and then it's called doctor's ABC. So check for danger, response, shout, and then start airways, and then you start circulation. So you don't have to in community do the mouth to mouth if you don't want to. It's your family members you want to. After 30 compression, you want to give 2 mouth breathing. That's fine, but if you don't have to do it. You keep basically compressing the chest, and obviously once before you starting that, you need to call the ambulance. If you are alone, then you do that first before starting the CPR. But if somebody is around you calling for help, then ask them to call the ambulance and need to tell clearly where you are, the address, and where the person is breathing, not breathing, or you're starting the CPR. So it got to be clear instructions. And then the ambulance come, they will use the defibrillator and they will take it on from there.
Sure.
Yeah.
I have a question that's popped up actually on my personal inbox saying that will this also cover child CPR?
We don't do as such video wise, but I normally do explain what that involved. So there are child depends on age. The baby is slightly different, and compressions are different as a 15 to 2 as compared to 30 in adult. But we do normally cover it.
Sure.
We don't show the video because it's not in the format, but we know that people do ask about it, so we normally cover this. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
His sister she wants to remain anonymous, has also asked through my personal inbox that will you be demonstrating the use of the defibrillator?
No.
Okay.
It's not part of it. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Because defibrillator is very easy. You don't have to explain anything. It tells everything. You just turn it on. It will tell you when to put a pad on. If the pads are wrong, it will not work. And it will tell you when to charge it, when to turn it. It tells everything, the clear instructions.
Sure.
And basically it depends, if the pulse is, shockable or not. If not, it will not shock it. They are so good.
Yes.
So you don't need to learn much about defibrillator, but we need to know about where the defibrillator are in the community. So that in case of we need them, you can use them. You just bring that in, put it on. It will tell you what. As you turn it on, it tell you basically like person speaking. Say, do this now, do this on. It clearly tell you everything.
Yeah. So I hope, sister, that has helped with your question and that has answered it. She's also written over here that sometimes it's difficult to gain access to the code for defibrillators when somebody collapses.
Yeah.
So I would have thought that the ambulance would...
It's normally you need to get 999 if the defibrillator registered with them, and it should be. If you didn't register, then it's on its own. So it's not good enough. Because without code, you can't open it.
That's true.
And the person who installed it, they should register it with 999, and then they got a whole kind of details of all the defibrillator, where they are, the locations.
Yeah.
So yeah, they should be registered.
There are some apps as well, aren't there, that can tell us where the defibrillators or the nearest defibrillator is. I think there's something known as a first responder app or something.
Okay.
But that can tell you where the nearest defibrillator is. And that was something that I came across. It also asks you if you want to be a first responder as well. So if somebody collapses nearby, it may alert you that please go and see to this person. So that's a really interesting, I think, function that we have with technology and everything. So I hope that's answered your question. I have a comment here from a brother, Muhammad Abdullah Rizwan. Salam, Dr. Shabina, and brother Dr. Azhar Chaudhry. Very informative program, and I'm coming to the mosque, inshallah. That's wonderful to hear, brother Muhammad Rizwan. Do come and do develop your skills in CPR, because it's very important as well. Likewise with choking, Azhar Bhai. It's very important that we know how to help with choking, because like you said, time is of the essence, isn't it?
Yeah.
With choking methods. So we'll be demonstrating the maneuvers, won't we?
Yeah.
As to what to do with those two, which is wonderful.
They are very, very easy procedures. Even children can do it.
Yes.
If you think that there's no adult in the house and only children, they can come.
Yes.
An adult can come. Adult can tell them what to do.
Yes.
So it's not that you need that much knowledge or anything. It's just need to observe it and just do it.
Yes.
So, but you need to keep doing it. Every year at least refresh it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's very important.
Because the time is so important. You don't have a time to think anything at that time.
That's
Yeah,
true. That's
yeah.
very, very true indeed. So I completely agree. So for those of you that are listening, this is the Body Health and Mind Show on Salam Radio 106.2 FM. We have Dr. Azad Chaudhry, who is talking to us on behalf of the British Islamic Medical Association about the Lifesavers course that is going to take place on a Saturday at Faizan Medina at 1:45, before Zohar prayer, after Zohar prayer, and at the Husseini Islamic Centre on Burton Street at 3 o'clock in 2 weeks' time on the 28th of September on a Saturday. So please do come. People have asked me whether certificates will be provided.
They will be provided, but they're going to be barcode. You have to, you have to scan that, give a feedback, and then they will email you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be a good thing as well to do.
I think we did the same thing last year as well.
Yes.
So normally print out and give everybody, and they just scan it. So now most of the people got the phone, so just scan it.
Yes.
And then,
and they'll be able to do that. So there will be a barcode there. Yes, there will be certificates that are given, but you just have to scan the barcode and hopefully your certificate will be emailed to you. So that's a very good thing as well. So talking about the importance of choking, CPR, and the third aspect was
the recovery position.
The recovery
So
position.
there's a difference between somebody is unconscious and breathing, and somebody not breathing and unconscious. So there are two different things. So if somebody is unconscious, not breathing, then we do CPR. So if somebody is, unconscious but breathing, we don't start CPR. We put that in recovery position.
Sure.
So because they are still breathing, so no point giving them resuscitations. And we call the ambulance, and there's a certain position you need to put that in. And it's very simple. Let's take less than 2 minutes to put somebody and you save life.
Yeah.
Because if the person is lying on the back, the tongue fall back, and that will go into collapse and become unconscious and not stop breathing. So put on recovery position, and there are certain conditions, somebody had head injury or somebody, like a fits, a collapse, thing like that. Their heart is still, and they're unconscious, but they're still breathing. So you put on recovery position, you save the life, and the ambulance will come, and they will, do the rest. So there are three very vital procedures, basically.
Sure. Yeah, they are. So I'm really glad, actually, that we have the opportunity to be able to deliver this within our community. BIMA does this all on one day across the country. Is there a reason behind that? I just wanted to ask before we move on to the next topic.
I don't know. I think for their own, logistic point of view, it might be easier for them. A couple of years' time, I had kind of argument with them, and I said, well, give us a couple of weeks, at least window of 2 weeks, we can do it. But I think they're doing not nationally, internationally as well.
Oh.
So it's happening in Indonesia, Malaysia, Bangladesh, I think a couple of African countries, Pakistan. So they do, obviously timing is different, but the date is the same. So they do kind of on the same day. So it's every year, last Saturday of September.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, last Saturday of September, every year. It probably is a way of bringing the ummah together as well. So I see the symbolic relevance, if there is one, behind it too. And, it's a form of, again, sadaqah jariyah. If somebody learns the CPR technique.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You save a life, then the teacher, obviously, teaches gains the reward for it.
And you will not knowing it.
Not even knowing,
Because we don't get any feedback. There's no such a mechanism. Whatever we do in the community, we don't get any feedback.
Yes.
So, but just Allah knows.
Yes, that's true. Well, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you, Azhar Bhai, for this, and the BIMA team for setting up this initiative and for everything that you're doing within our community as well. It's a wonderful initiative, and just to remind you, brothers and sisters, that on Saturday, not Wednesday, Saturday, the 28th of September at 1:45 Faizan Medina Mosque, and at 3 o'clock Burton Street Mosque will be the CPR Lifesavers course. Please attend. Bring as many people as you can. It is promising to be a great event. I'm going to be based in Faizani, Medina, so it will be a pleasure to bring you on. And I'm a very strict teacher as well. Not to put you off, I'm not. We actually had a lot of fun last year, so it would be a great.
I think we can promise it's going to be a very good day out, family good day out. Yeah,
very good. Bring your family if you want, and you're young. I mean, it depends. If your children have an understanding, for children who are in later classes or a secondary school children, it's a good life skill.
I think about 12 they should be okay. They understand.
12 and above, it would be a good idea to bring them. So, without further ado now, what I am going to talk about is something very important. As of the 9th of September this year, legislation about death verification has changed in the United Kingdom. And it is largely around the process for certification of death. Now, Dr. Azhar Chaudhry, our award-winning GP here in Peterborough, works in the most, I would say, largest populated practice within the city.
I think we are the largest from single site in all Cambridgeshire.
Yes. And what's the population again?
31,000.
31,000. I can remember a time when Dr. Moda, who's a wonderful friend of ours, had written an email, and I can remember looking back in those days and him saying that we're 23,000. I thought, oh my goodness, how do they look after so many patients? And 31,000, which is an enormous feat and excellent level of care. I would like to say that.
Thank you.
So they're all doing a great job. But obviously, with a large population comes the fact that one has to understand the processes. Now, we were talking about death verification, how it affected us as a Muslim community in COVID. There were so many deaths, weren't there, Azhar Bhai?
There are so many, and it was a very difficult one, isn't it? But I think they kind of modified the law at that time, COVID, so to accommodate everybody. But obviously now the new changes, and especially it's a very sensitive time for the family. And nobody wants to delay process, but it's one of those things where I think the public need to understand. It's not only the doctor now, like a GP involved, is the other person involved as well. So there are going to be delays, especially in the initial stage when everybody trying to understand this new system. It's all new. I know it's in the papers, but when it come practically, that more thing comes out and more difficulty come out. And practical point of view, they want to do all it digital, all, internet based. So who knows? It's one of those things
that we're going to have to look at. Now, recently, one thing is, the reason for having this show, both Dr. Azhar and I want you all to know, is that our reason for delivering on this topic is because we want you to have an understanding of the process. At a time within our faith, you have to have a timely burial for expected deaths, which is what everybody wants. We want to educate, both of us want to educate you all on the right process so you know exactly where to go first, who to speak to, and how you will be able to gain death verification of your loved one in the event that a bereavement takes place. So, would you like to go over the first initial points when somebody has an expected death at home?
Yes.
So what expected death, what does that mean, and how we go forward?
So expected death is when there's no cure for any condition, and the doctor said they did all the investigation, they did all the treatments, there's no more any treatment. And they basically just want to give total love and care. So they make a pain-free, symptom-free, and basically most of these people on something we call do not resuscitate form. So basically if things get worse, then don't need to take to hospital, and then let them comfortable at their house and die there with peacefully. So in that case, most of the time, majority, I think almost all the time, we know what the cause is. Most of the time it's a cancer. It can be anything else, like end-stage renal failure, end-stage heart failure, end-stage respiratory failure.
Dementia.
So these are the chronic conditions with no cure available. And most, we normally keep a register. Each GP surgery got a register for this called palliative care. So where basically these people's names are there and the named doctors there. We normally look after them. We do kind of monthly meetings, discuss what the situation is. When time comes, so we know what the cause of death would be, and then we inform the family. Family agreed, and that's what we used to do before 9th of this month, where we can just put the cause of death and that's it. And burials most of the time take place on the same day in Muslim population. But now is different. It's different in a way that if somebody is like expecting death, so I can't do on my own now. So I have to do the referral to the person called ME, is called medical examiner. So they are independent. They are consultant level, maybe senior GP level. They are training. So we send them a summary of the patient and also proposed cause of death. So which I thinking is the cause of death. I will write it down. I will send a summary with it. You're going to go to that person. They're going to look through that independently. They don't know the patient. They don't know me. They're going to look through that one and they're going to come up with their own cause of death. And then they're going to match. If the one I'm proposing and they are thinking is the same, they will send us a back message. They say, yes, go ahead and do the death certificate. Then I have to do on the new death certificate form on that one. And that going to go to the registrar office and they register and then you can do the burial. So this is another layer of now this arrangement. So imagine before that there was a problem, now it's another layer. So there are going to be definitely delays and depend other person how busy they are, how many deaths happen in the community on that day. So that's basically simple cases procedure where straightforward expecting that that's how going to happen. If obviously I'm not sure or they're not sure, they're going to go to coroner again. Or if suppose I proposing cause of death and they are doing as well, but it's not matching up and I'm not agree, that's going to go to coroner as well. And then they have to discuss with each other and then decide. Sometimes coroner can, if they say that is fine, I'm happy with it, go ahead and do the death certificate. So normally at the moment they say at least 24 hours, it might take 24 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've had, ironically, I think something like from the Muslim community, 5 deaths within the last week. And I think that it's a really opportune time to praise the chaplain services within the hospital, our funeral services. You've got the Islamic funeral service, you have Peterborough funeral services as well, and Muslim funeral services. You've got these two that actually work with us. We've got our Joint Mosque Council and our mosques that provide ghusl facilities and excellent setup in our mosques to provide, bereavement services. And then we have our registry office people and our coroners, and we've always had a wonderful relationship. All of us work together, especially when something happens like this in the community. And what I think it's important is to lay out. So if somebody in the community has a loved one that's died of an expected condition that they knew that there's going to be no cure for and death was going to take place, I think the best way is for them to get in touch with the GP, who has to fill out 3 conditions here. You have a referral form to the coroner. You fill out the death certificate, which is obviously the new online version.
So you have to wait.
Yes.
Yeah,
so until they can come back and say to you that you...
Yeah.
And then you also have to give the record for the last 6 months.
Yeah. So you send the record plus the proposed death. They fill up the form first, and then you wait.
And then that's
and
when
then
it comes
depend
back.
Medical examiner available when they available. If they are available, normally take 1 hour to them to come back to us. So if they are agreed, then you go ahead and do the death certificate. But if not, then you have to discuss with them.
Sure. I think it's going to be very tricky where we have out-of-hours deaths.
Absolutely.
So I think that because of the new layer that we have, a lot of people tend to try and find who the regular GP is. But the medical examiners have then said that they will obviously they work until 12 o'clock, is that right, Dr. Azhar, on the out of hours, sort of on the weekend?
Registrars?
The medical examiners.
I think it's a different arrangement. That there are national body of medical examiner than the local bodies. So I'm not sure about the local body yet.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is, and some of the feedback that we've got back is that we'd like GPs to expedite the process, but we ourselves, even if we undertake the most quick process,
Yeah.
we won't be able to do anything or move further until the medical examiner furnishes
Yes, we
us
can't do much,
with a
yeah,
certificate.
no.
So that's the main thing.
Main things.
It's very important that we make sure I've seen a lot of videos on social media where people have illustrated in places like Rochdale, for example, that you have a medical examiner's office
Okay.
that people need to go to. That's something that we'll have to establish.
Yeah.
But now we've come to the end of the show. So if you have a loved one, do get in touch within hours in your GP. We'll be giving you further information on this as well. But Azhar Bhai, thank you very much for coming. It's
Thank
been a
you so
pleasure
much.
as always. And hopefully we'll see many people on the 28th of September. Any last message in the last couple of seconds?
Yeah. I would say do come to attend this very valuable course on 28th of September. And regarding that certificate things, I think initially there are going to be delays. But once you understand the system, then hopefully it's going to be become more transparent and more smooth.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. We will hopefully be advocating for that and in constant touch with our coroners who have a good relationship with us. And until then, until the next program, brothers and sisters, have a good evening. Thank you for joining us and Assalamu alaikum.
This